Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss one of the recent Indian hit films, Gadar 2. So let's go ahead and talk about it in a brief review. 22 years ago this week, at the start of what seems like a particularly fertile period in Hindi film industry, at least in retrospect, two patriotic films hit movie screens. Both ultimately made history in their own way. The first one is Lagan, Once Upon a Time in India, an underdog story about a bunch of Indian villagers beating the colonial sahibs in a high-stake cricket match in 1893. Made it to the Oscars that year in the Best Foreign Language Film category. For Hindi cinema, it helped kick off the new millennium on a high note, signaling the hope that global acclaim was no longer too far out of reach for an industry that had in the previous couple of decades descended all too frequently into a formula of melodrama, violence, and lowbrow comedy. While Lagan won critical plaudits at home and abroad, the winner of the June 15, 2001 box office face-off by far was Gadar, एक Prem Katha, which became the highest grossing Hindi film since 1994's Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, directed by Anil Sharma. Gadar told the story of a Sikh man, a patriot and devoted husband to a Muslim woman who was willing to go to war with the entire nation of Pakistan to bring his love back home in India. It was the kind of high, decided drama that the audience clearly still loved. It made full use of its star Sunny Deol's talent for roaring out Paisa Vasool lines that would come to the mimicked and memorified. Lagan may have earned a 3.5 out of 4 stars from Roger Alberts, but Paul Braxton's Tingona Lagan was no match for Deol's हमारा हिंदुस्तानी जिंदा था जिंदाबाद है और जिंदाबाद रहेगा. The zinger of a line was delivered by Deol's Tara Singh as he stood on Pakistan soil and faced off with Ameesha Puri's villainous Ashraf Ali, the man who had reclaimed his daughter, parted from her family during the violence and chaos of partition, and was forcing her to give up Tara, whom she had fallen in love with and married. Perhaps it carries some resonance even today, for audience seems to have flocked back to theatres as the movie has been released in theatres in 4K. As part of the build-up to the August release of sequel Gadar, the Katha continues. The second movie is set during the Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971, and according to the teaser released by today, it shows Tara Singh returning to Pakistan, this time in search of his son. Considering that high-volume patriotic drama seem to be back in vogue and Hindi cinema, it is possible that Gadar the Katha continues will do so as well, maybe even better than the original one. But the India in which the latter was released is very different from the India of today. Back then it was possible for Gadar, despite the loud jingoism and nationalistic packages to be, and its core a love story in which a man is willing to leave behind his mitti and mazhab to be with the woman he loves. After all, the scene in which Tara screams about the greatness of Hindustan also shows his willingly saying Pakistan Zindabad and embracing Islam. If it means that can be with his wife, viewers back then seem to have accepted this as a part of the sacrifice that a lover must make, their regard for him not diminishing in the least. It also a film that could show partition as a tragedy where the madness and violence gripped Hindus and Sikhs in East Punjab, just as it did Muslims to the west. Would it have been possible to write such a scene and make it acceptable to the audience in an India where not long ago a young student activist was arrested for saying Pakistan Zindabad along with Hindustan Zindabad? So that's it for now. Viewers, will see you soon in next episode. Till then, see you soon. Bye bye.